2022 is going to be a big year for mobile gaming, and hot on that list is Torchlight Infinite. Hey guys, it's Kyrios here, and we're going to give you our first impressions of this new mobile game. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button so you are aware of any of the new videos that is coming out on this channel. Let's go. Welcome on in. Before we get into the review, if you're interested in playing this game or signing up for the beta or being ready for when the game goes live, you can find this game over at TapTap.io. You can find the links in the description down below. You can also follow me on TapTap to see any of the games that I'm currently playing. All right, Torchlight Infinite, an action RPG looter simulator similar to the Torchlight games or any other games in the genre similar to Diablo. If you enjoy action RPG games where you have to farm loot and get more powerful over and over again, you're definitely going to enjoy this experience. Game is coming to mobile first, but the devs have stated that there would be a PC version at a later date after they get the launch of mobile. Kicking off the world, you have a choice of 4 characters. You have the Berserker, a rage-based character that hits hard and in charge, using raw attack and attack speed to lay waste with big weapons and big AoE. Next up, you have Divine Shot, a range-only ammo class, focusing on ricochet shots and AoE cover fire and reloading mechanics to take down its enemies. Frostfire, an ice and fire specialist that changes elements with strong pulse damage. And these pulses hurt. They literally hurt. Everything on the battlefield dies. Love her. And then finally, my favorite, which is brand new, the Space-Time Witness. It's a mage that uses buffs and AoE spells, chain lightning, you name it, to lay down the hurt. And I'm a big fan of that. I was a big time stop mage in Diablo, and this is right up my alley. Much like the action RPG genre, Torchlight Infinite drops you directly into the action where you are navigating missions to progress through the story, immediately throwing enemies at you and teaching you the ropes. And the teaching's at a good pace, as it only tells you what you need to know to keep you moving and slaying. Wonderful. I do like the instant upgrade system of abilities mid-combat. Everything is very thought out to keep the fluff to a minimum and to keep you just slaying and wonderful. I can't speak enough about that. Just keep me in the combat. I love that. Now, the story is not fluff, but once again, they succeed at sprinkling the story in and cutscenes where it makes sense and maintaining that flow. Gameplay ramps up fairly quickly, that after about 20 to 30 minutes of play, you're already having to juggle hordes of enemies and equipping the right gear just to keep your damage and damage mitigation up to par, we would say. Seriously, thank you for Blink. Was surrounded more times than I can count. Would have been dead. I did find the bosses to be a little lackluster, unfortunately, compared to taking down elites and enemies, but that might be because I was a dirty mage with chain lightning just blasting it off screen. They do get harder at each later stage, so I'm probably going to be eating my own words here shortly. This game has tons of ways to build your heroes, from randomized gear, which, by the way, there is a ton of gear that drops. A ton. I mean, more than I know how to do with. And it's all randomized. Different stats, different everything. Also, within the first hour of play, I had my first legendary. All right, calm down there, Kyrios. But that was wonderful. I was so excited. You have skill builds, you have different talents you can do, you have packs, you name it. You can craft your hero the way you see fit. There's different ways that you can build them, from being fire or lightning to two-handed to dual wielding to wand use to shields to there's just so many possibilities. I loved everything I saw here from a looter ARPG simulator. Let's move on to the tech stuff and controls. I was able to test this game on both the ROG Phone 5S and the Pixel 6 Pro. The game is very well optimized, rocking a solid 60 frames a second almost 100% of the time. Only under extreme battles with lots and lots of enemies did it ever dip ever so slightly. Levels are very well organized and actually fairly large for it being on a mobile game. Load times between zones very quick as well, and it didn't feel disruptive to flow. Controls felt wonderful, and each button and menu option was well thought out. Seriously, there's not a whole lot of real estate on the phone. You gotta think through these things. And trust me, for those out there with big hands like me, I had no issues being able to hit all the abilities without hitting others. Seriously, it is a problem. It's very frustrating. Movements felt very responsive, and so did the abilities. Seriously, Blink, once again, was always instantaneous. And if it wasn't, I would have been dead. Like how you see on screen. Just dead. All the time.
My bad.
The only change I would make is to see if finding a better spot for the activity quest tab. I did find myself accidentally opening and closing that when trying to move my character around. It was very aggravating, and it was also pretty hard for me to hit. I don't know where they can put it, but that would be my general feedback of anything I'd like to see on the UI change. All right, probably the thing everyone's looking forward to is the gacha system. Now, the gacha system seems to be very beneficial in this game, or not beneficial, but very free-to-play friendly. You get these items called pack spirits that you can equip into your pack sphere grid, and it looks like a sphere grid to me. And then they supply you additional benefits, from drop rates to increase damage to increase attack speed, and depending on what ring it is in the sphere grid is what benefit it will give you. Now, a lot of the non-legendary pack spirits seem to be pretty good to me. Even the low level regular SR, I think this is the SSR system, so the S, the R, the SR, and the SSR all seem pretty close in my opinion. But time will tell on how this is and how much free currency that you actually get in order to summon these weekly. Now, there is a battle pass, which is the way that I assume you're going to get most of this freemium currency. But from what I can tell, you could do everything almost without any of these spirits. They just help, and they're kind of a little bit of a breath of life. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the first impressions of Torchlight Infinite. I'm a big fan of action RPGs, especially one that you can play on your phone, so I'm very excited about that. Now, the one thing I will say as a closing thought is that I do think you should play this game. I do think it's exciting, but the one thing that they need to implement that isn't there yet is the multiplayer. In a game like this, you definitely need multiplayer to be able to play with your friends, because this is a play with friend kind of game. But those are my closing thoughts. I'm definitely going to play it. I'm definitely going to try it out some more as it comes out of beta and it makes its way into a final release. And from everyone here at Kyrios Gaming, I want to thank you for your support. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that join button if you do want to support the channel. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.